bed frame. We left for Soho around, no, I won't say we left at 7 because I was doing my makeup for so long. I was doing a no makeup look, but even that took me ages to do. So yeah, I say we left at 7 from my place, and then we ended up in Central around perhaps like 15 minutes past 8. Yeah, I would say something like that. So it gave us some time to kill before we had to go to our event. We had a little peruse around Harmony, and it was funny because I'm so used to people saying, "Can I check your ID?" But as soon as I went in, the person working there was like, "No, don't need your ID." I think I've come to that stage where I'm just looking my age now, you know, if not a bit older. Yeah, so after spending maybe 20 minutes in there fantasizing about what we could buy, we got to the hotel. It was getting dark. It was like you would have to go through this short passageway to get into the entrance of the hotel, and outside there were like 3 security waiting there, and we'd asked the people at the door, we were like, we're here for the event, and they were like, "What event?" "The Inked event, question mark?" And then they were like, "Yeah, come in." They didn't check any ID or anything. So heading in, it was nice. The corridor was dark, and right at the end of the corridor you had a nice mural. I don't even know what to describe it. It was like a big painting on the wall. And then you had to like make a left, and then you were in the lobby. And then they were setting up in the lobby all of the artists. There were 3 of them. They were setting up their stations, and they were seats, two big sofas opposite each other, and in the middle they had their gear, and they had like a small table as well, from what I can remember anyway. So straight away what we do, we head to the bar. Sat at the bar, looked at the drinks menu. They were doing this collaboration with this drinks brand that I can't really remember, but we get the 2 cheapest cocktails. There were 3 on the menu, and out of the 3 we got the 2 that were both £16. One of them was a clear drink, a little bit zesty.
So good.
And I would say it was quite refreshing as well, if alcohol and refreshing is interchangeable. What did you think of it? Did you think that the drinks were like particularly good or memorable, or do you think you could have just made it yourself at home?
I don't think that would be memorable.
And the other one I would say had some kind of, it was like a sweet, sour tasting,
This is definitely
fruity drink, like a berry flavour of some sort. Yeah. Looked at the service charge on top of our bill, 15%. Damn. How much was I in the hole? Maybe like £36 something?
Yeah.
Oh my days.
Plus £36,
I was staring at that bill and I was like, girl, am I really gonna spend this much? We'd already drank most of our drinks.
No, exactly.
The person at the bar was saying, would you like to start a tab, or would you want to pay for your drinks now? And I was like, I'll pay for them now. Girl, you know, in hindsight, I was complaining about how expensive those drinks were, but it was for the experience. How many times am I doing this a week?
Not many, really, are you?
I'm not even doing this like much every month.
No.
2 months. So I suppose it is a worthy investment just for the vine. So I think it's okay. After drinking our drinks, we went to queue up because they were starting to prepare the pages or the waivers for getting inked up, right? So we stand in a queue, and then the queue was leading up to one of the artists. But one of the people that was working at the front desk calls us over. We make eye contact with the guy there. He was the same security guard that was outside. He managed to migrate indoors because I suppose they needed staff indoors as well. So we go to him, and then we take 2 buzzers. And these are buzzers that you could usually get when you are maybe waiting for your food order. Like when your burger is ready, it will buzz, and then that's when you go and pick up your order. So we take our numbers, 3 and 4. I got 3, Tom got 4. And then we took the waivers and then departed. We sat in the smoking area. It was nice, actually, the smoking area, because it was just so close to the bar. So it was an open space, right, where you could smoke. And then there's a sliding door that allows you to go back into the hotel where the bar is. So I liked that. It was very good use of space. Like, there wasn't a lot of it, but they made good use of it, because obviously in London it's going to be really jam-packed and crowded. So yeah, I feel like props to them on their design. I loved the aesthetic, may I add. Like, it was super chic in there. Like, they had, yeah, they had, I think it was taxidermy. Do you think? The goat and the peacock that was going across the wall of the bar. I think it was taxidermy, and then they just kind of did an artistic spin on it using peacock leaves or whatever. Peacock leaves? Peacock feathers. Yeah. Tom's remote buzzer started buzzing first, and mine hadn't gone off because I'm supposed to be number 3. So surely I should be buzzed first. So
it's a good thing that like we are bringing with me.
Yeah.
Because it was like, yeah, she's third, I'm 4th, she should go before me. And then she was like, oh, okay, so obviously you took my place, then I was you afterwards. But then a girl came along and she was like, I'm 2nd. And a lady just turned around straight up and said to me, like, oh, we restarted it all. Like, we're now
yeah.
going to...
So yeah, we take ourselves once his buzzer started ringing, and there was a, what do you call them, an usher? An usher? The chief usher. I think so anyway. And she told us that I was able to go first and have my turn, and then Tom could go his. Okay, so there was this other person that had a number 2 buzzer, and the artist that was doing mine was like, you can go, to the person that had number 2. And in fairness, bureaucracy, like 2 comes before 3, so it would make sense that the guy would call number 2. But no, the usher was like, we've restarted the order, so we've given out the people that have the buzzers already. I'm sure they have like a select number, and then they'd given those out to the first comers, and then the people that had already had theirs done had given back their buzzer, and that would mean that they would restart the queue from the top. So she was technically probably way after it was my turn. So, and she was like to the usher, I'm number 2. She was like, no. This is the way we're doing it. Yeah, so I chose this really nice design. It was like an outline of a high heel boot, and you got this ghost with a witch's hat. It's so cute, something that you might find on Pinterest. I think that was what they were doing. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, you would want something that would appeal to a mass, right? Like, you would want something that people would actively want to choose, instead of being something so niche that nobody ends up picking it. You know what? Fair enough. So I take mine. It was this size, probably about 2.5 inches tall. Take it to the tattoo artist, and I tell him, can I have this on my rib? And he didn't even hear me, first of all, and he was like thinking, and I was like, I don't know if he was confused as to whether it would make sense that I would be able to have a rib tattoo in such a public environment. I don't know if that was what he was thinking, or if he was thinking how he was going to go about doing this tattoo in a crowded room, dimly lit. Yeah, so I take it off. Not all of it. I just was wearing my tulle dress, right? I just take that off over the top of myself, and then I take off my brassiere. I would say that for the most part, I'm glad I did it. It's my first ever tattoo, and for it to be free, I'm glad I did it. Although it might have been a bit compromised, I felt as though I had to trust this man to not fuck me up, because he easily could have. Regardless, he has a reputation to uphold, so I can imagine why he wouldn't mess it up in a really crowded room like that, because I might have had an outburst. I digress. I would say out of a pain scale, I was expecting it to be much worse, because people were have been saying that rib tattoos are painful. Hard as nails, me. Yeah, so for me, on a pain scale, I would rate it a 5 out of 10. So during the time that I was getting my tattoo done, Tom was also having his, and by the time I was done, Tom was almost about done too. So once I get up, I get my clothes back, handed to me by the tattoo artist. I'm not gonna lie, it felt like a cheap link. My man's right there.
He's trying to seduce me.
So I just take my things, and then I get up, and then I sit back down right next to where Tom was getting his little ghost tattoo on his forearm. It's very cute. I really loved the style of the tattoo artist that was doing Tom's tattoo. It was very ethereal and also alternative at the same time. Bro was majestic. So once Tom was finished, we look at it, so nice, and then we decide to go to the bathroom. When I looked at it in the mirror, my fresh tattoo, I was like, oh girl, we actually did this. It took me to the age of 24 to have my first one, and it was free. I didn't have to pay for it. And I was showing the lady that was doing her job being a cleaner in the bathroom, hey, look at my tattoo. She did not care. She just looked and was like, wow, don't care. I was on a high, and I had a great night. That's what it looks like. Pretty sick. Thank you so much for watching. Peace next time.